Brontoscopy forecast time. The Etruscans had a brontoscopic calendar, and this was a way of them understanding the will of the gods through divination through thunder. If it thundered on a particular day, this is what it meant. And you might have recognized this because I've done a few videos in the past where when it's thundered, I've said, hey, this is what the entry for that day means. And usually in the background you can see or hear it raining. I don't think I can do that for our next instance because it looks like it's going to thunder heavily tomorrow morning very early on. And my dog is terrified of thunder, so I won't be able to do much recording. I'll probably be building him little dens he can hide in and trying to find something to watch on TV whilst I'm trying to stay awake. Anyway, oh, and by the way, this is Numa Pompilius. He was the second king of Rome. He's associated with bringing lots of Rome's religious infrastructure and building the sort of practices they had. He's associated with the Vestals, everything else. One of the things he was associated with, which links in here, is a worship of Jupiter, which involved lightning. And apparently he could bring forth lightning and understand the will of the gods through it. But he was protected by a magic amulet, as you do. This didn't go too well with another king, apparently, who didn't wear the amulet when he should have done. And, well, you can guess the rest. In any case, if you want to hear more about Numa Pompilius, go and listen to the episode I did on him on the Ancient History Hound podcast, where I spoke about him, and it's a mini-series of all the kings or mythical kings of Rome. Anyway, so back to tomorrow's forecast, because if it thunders on the 19th, this is apparently what it means. So the entry for July the 19th, if in any way it shall thunder, it signifies war and the destruction of the powerful. On the other hand, there will be plenty of cereals. Yeah, I know, bit of an odd one that, but just think of it as cereals as in agricultural produce, not what you're necessarily putting in your breakfast bowl. And that was hugely important for Rome. Sometimes people forget that in the ancient world, a good harvest could literally make or break you. And Rome put a lot of effort in, particularly with its religious institutions, in making sure that the gods were appealed to and kept on the good side, which would necessitate a good agricultural outcome. Good example of that? Mars. Now you might think of Mars as being someone who is all about battle and war. That's true. But he also had agricultural associations, which were probably an earlier element to him. And these include prayers that might be said for the health of cattle, or even a sacrifice and prayers to make sure that parts of a farm, the land on a farm, would give good growth. So there we have it. Let's see what happens if it thunders tomorrow morning, which I think it probably will do in Brighton.